even what was going on, I was not happy about it. I mean, even Titanic, I've not gone to Titanic's platform once. I've not been there. He came to Udoka's platforms. There I engaged him. So that day, when he left, he blocked me. He doesn't want me to see his activities. So why?
Because you know history, he will block you. Because you know history, he will block you.
I never go a platform once. So I never go there once.
Now they talk so. Maybe your comment. He not say you know the truth. He will block you.
He blocked me.
Yes, now. You know say you know history. People who don't know history, he will bring them up.
Okay, you see, so the people they touch me that they are not.
Tap.
So I don't really understand what it is my brother how they do for there. And he gets some kind of platform where they do. You understand? He gets some kind of platform and this man. Apart from that one, for example, now this platform I know what you talk about. You understand? Even me know they come here ever since. I use the avoid call. This side and my own, this side and my own. So I don't want me to go talk with you to provoke anybody. Because the genesis of all this problem, I know him. I know how me I go touch, call people names. At the end of the day, wait for the firm a piece. The thing called Khalid. So I decided to just stay back. So I decided to just stay back. Make I leave everything for main settlement come before I come out again. But when we see this guy here again, you know that sounds like man, there's something.
They ask you where you from come. Let me tell you where you from come.
Where are you from? Let us know you where.
Well, me, I don't really know you too, Thomas Sankara. So I don't, and also I don't understand the rules. If there are rules of engagement, I don't know for the people. I'm an Edo person from Benin.
Where in Benin?
I'm from Obaoka local government.
Where in Benin? Yes, Obaoka. Do one muja with them one time. No, you do ma.
It don't matter me. I'm not. Sometimes maybe when comment is in the time. Now they sana away these things. Well, sometimes I was out with them. Maybe that is what you didn't like.
Now,
sometimes to give it to them.
They muja you dead. They know you do ma. Only me gualo. Me ma guala is araza. Now you have a zona. Because every time I couldn't want to about me. The green person insult me because this social media, if you insult me and you pepper for body, you cannot do you anything. So that's why they avoid.
I get pepper. Woman here, me. I wear if you got a platform, I tell you, I'm a Latina.
Me go along the way at TBR, so you have to stay clear.
For me, all those things they make me they work stronger. They give me easy to make more research.
There's
a don't give back to them. Every year, that's the truth. Because we delay these things too much. Why I came up here, Logos, because you are the one that actually vindicated us in this matter. Let Amalaja don't want to reply these people. They will continue their shenanigans.
I because I know that they
that general topic.
Yes,
I think Elohosha did a lot.
Yeah, even you, we were to the Moyavela, to the Mola,
I will select platforms. Right?
Don't go to that Titanic platform, Titanic, Okuta Pane, all those people that is against us, so those people are against us. And please always be in the place where they make peace. Please, that's my own. What I always say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So as I was saying, I hope Opaika is here. Opaika, I want you. Now you make I do this video. Now they do for you. So what did I tell you to say? I said I want Benin man. I found your community and in name now Ihimi. Now from there the country get Ero Ihimi, not be Ero Ihimi. It was the British that corrupted it to Ero Ihimi. Originally, he said like a place for Ikimi. They share that place among themselves. Ihimi, Osa, Ato. We have Ewo Ihimi, we have Ewosa, we have Ewato. That's how they share. It is people's name. And those people were from Benin, they were 3 brothers. So they should go and tell her that I've answered that question. So let us continue. Now the correct name is Ewo Ihimi, from the original name Orihimi. Orihimi was founded, according to some elders, by one of the immigrants from Benin who came followed by two of his younger brothers. His name was Ihimi, and his brothers were Osa and Ato. Now, he said in that order of seniority, Osa and Ihimi were maternal brothers. You see it? Osa and Ihimi, they are maternal what? Brothers. That means that the same mama and I born them. Maternal has to do with mother. Maternal brothers. They were of the same mothers. Osa and Ihimi. That's what he said. He said, in that order of seniority, Osa and Ihimi were maternal brothers. Others say that Orikimi was found by a Bini what? By a Bini leader called Alam. You see, but basically now, that Elohim is founded by a Bini person. That is the basic thing that we have to establish. I already established that one. When we say the Benis, the essence are Bini, we know what we are talking. It is from here. It is from history. It is from history. So let us go further. He said, well then, the second son added a group of warriors. Look at it now. And wrote as guide. Okay. He said, from this, Prince descended one of the earlier images called Oswa. That is Osa Anator. He had what? He had three sons, Aga, who later succeeded his father Osa. The second and the third being Ato, a hunter who fought the bush irrespectively and so settled in a place full of big games. His settlement became Ewato. The second son added a group of warriors, keep on the Benin roads as guide. They founded Ewosa. So people from Orihimi went to join them as others went to do as Ewato. It's very clear. Ewato, Ewosa, Ewohimi, they were founded by three Benin brothers. It's very simple. That is the history for that. Then, let's look at what they said here. He said soon the soldiers grew in numbers and strength and began not to challenge the authority at home in Urihimi, but to disclaim its national. At the end, the Onojo of Ewohimi had to yield and created their leader Onoji. He also had to create the leader of Ewato settlement Onoji. Support of this, blah blah blah, and just what of you. Then let us look at. Then the author now went further to say. The author went further to talk about. He said, "I have given the above merely as historical exercise. Ewohimi consists of several large villages, and it would be wrong to think that they migrated from the same source." You see what the author said? Then it will be more specific to take different components and trace their origin. It was very clear. The author did a comprehensive analysis of the origin of the Eastern people. Look at it now. He said Egware. Egware is what? Is a place. Is a place. Egware is part and parcel of the Elohimi. It's a part and parcel of the Elohimi. Let's look at what he said. We're now looking at we have Egware, we have Okaiben, we have Owu, we have Agadaga. So let's look at that one after the other. It's like what this author was saying is this. The author made us to know that in every community, in my village where I come from, there are different sub-family units. We have Ugo, we have Idumoe, we have Ugyosa. Likewise, we have also in Ewohimi. You understand? Likewise, in other villages, there are clan, there are sub-family units. Well, if you are from Ugo, they'll tell you that you people cannot marry yourself. Because you people have family ties. Likewise, we have in Ewohimi. And the first one he talked about was Egware. He said, let us begin to look at the various components, that make up Ewohimi. That he was saying that there's what they call Egware. Then let us look at who founded that place. Then let us begin to from there, we'll now begin to get a clearer picture of the founder or the early settlers that made up the Ewohimi. So what he said? He said Egware. He said this place was founded. Egwari was founded by members of the ruling family. Was founded by members of the ruling family, which came direct from Ezomo Uzebu in Benin. That place they call Egwari in Ewohimi. It was founded by members of the ruling family who came directly from Ezomo Uzebu in Benin. That is Egwari, one of the components that make up Ewohimi. He said the founders were members, the founders of Egwari, one of the places that make up Ewohimi, were members of the disciplined body of men who rebel. To rebel means to fight against your leader, who rebel against Egwari's selfish and despotic decree. And despotic what? Decree. Now, what the author was trying to say is that I understand what he meant by selfish and despotic decree. What it means is that when you say decree, it's like a military. The pronouncement made by military, really military rule, what they call decree. So when you say something is decree, that means it is forceful. Then when you talk about selfishness, you are overzealous by yourself. Then when you talk about despotic, it's like you are commanding. Now, this way, if you look at the word selfish and despotic, they are the disadvantage of absolute monarchy. Absolute monarchy, where what is the king or queen say is final. They now what they call constitutional monarchy. We're talking about like what we have in the King of England. It is a constitutional monarchy because it is no longer operating absolute monarchy. But in the olden days, where we have obas, traditional rulers, they were operating what refers to an absolute monarchy, which means that whatever they say is final. You cannot challenge the authority. Like what we have nowadays in the legislative arm of government, where before a bill can become a law, you have to debate it. You have to be debating it. But in the case of absolute monarchy, so when the king said it was like that. That was what they were trying to say. So we will say the way it is. Yes, our traditional rulers, our obas, our ogisos, they have their own disadvantages. And some of these disadvantages they were selfish, they were despotic, and some of the pronouncements were decree. Once soldier talk something, he don't talk, you know, fit changer. It is the truth. That is the negative side about absolute monarchy. We cannot take that away. Then he said, and selfish, seeking freedom and happiness in the jungle of Esan land. Nayame, where you are in a place, you live in a house where you don't have peace. It is better you go and be living outside. That was what author is saying here. That they left and they went to what? The jungles in the Esan land. Egboga no Egbo. So that's what the author is saying. He said the leader of the party that founded the first central settlement was a warrior called Ihimi. His first son was the brave and the popular Anna who honored Obaewade's invitation when he won over his rebellious subject in a way that has become famous for his word, subtlety. So basically, Egwari is one of the components that make up Ewohimi. And they said that it was founded by the ruling house who came directly from Ezomonuzebu from Benin City. So if you disagree, you come up, then we'll do a follow-up. So the other things the author wrote, there wrote so many things, that the senior, and so on and so forth. But my main emphasis is that Egwari was founded by the ruling word directly from Ezomonuzebu in Egwari. Then I look at another community that make up Ewohimi. We have Okaiben. He said Okaiben is made up of many villages. It's a large village. Okaiben is a village that is made up of 11 quarters. In Ewohimi, we have villages. In those villages, we have quarters. In every village, like my village, we have quarters or district. I come from Oke-Ire. We have Ugo. We have Aogemekpe. We have Ekpa. We have Ugjosa. We have Idimore. These are quarters in my village. Likewise, we have in Ewohimi. So the second one is Okaiben. He said Okaiben is a very large and very large village that it consists of 11 quarters. The quarters that made up Okaiben in Ewohimi, they are one, Uzebu. You see it? Uzebu. We have Idumobo. We have Idiron. We have Idumuago. we have Idumo Guaha, we have Idumeo, we have Idumelegi, we have Uye. These are quarters that make up Okaiben. So if Okaika is listening, if I'm wrong, please send a request and debunk what I'm saying. He said, although, okay, let me leave that one. Then let's look at the main word now. He said the majority of the founders of Okaiben, headed by a world leader, Ezenomo, came from Uzebu in Benin. You see it again? The people that majority of the founders of Okaiben, a village or a settlement in Ewohimi, were founded by the head of a warrior whose name was Ezenomo. And we're told that Ezenomo came from Uzebu in Benin. It's very clear again. Ewohimi people, they are Benins. That is why Christopher said that if you look at the features, the language and the custom of the Benin and the Esan, you will know that they are the same. He said it is only just lexical. Two means the way you pronounce a word that makes the Benin language and the Esan differs. And he went further to say that Esan dialect is a dialect of Benin. That's why the Benin will say Donoma Zesi or Esan. They got the verse, but that is the history. It is the history. It is very clear. Isana Uzebu in Benin. Why the founders of Iduma Bowo came from Agbo. You see it? It is there. Founded by Ogbe, who was the father of Owen. It is very clear. Let me go to the next one. Ogu. Ogu is another district. He said under that district we have so many, under that village we have so many districts. It's like a quarter. We have different quarters in Ogu. We have different quarters in Ogu. Then the other one, we have Agadaga. He said the majority of the founders of Agadaga, they came from Egban in Benin. They came from Egban in Benin, while others came from Egoro. It is very clear. Then he talked about the fifth one. Another component of Ewohimi is Okede. He said this place was founded, Okede in Ewohimi, was founded by an early prince from Ewohimi. He was Ibigbode, the son of Onoje of Ames, the son of the Onoje Ames, and was related maternally to Okidara of Odua. The banished prince left Egwari with his family, but was consoled with the title of Dogun. It's very clear. Now, look at what he said now. He said, Orikimi later corrupted. Orikimi later corrupted to Ewohimi, was for a long time isolated from the rest of Esan. In fact, until 1920, when all the powerful Isha Enige Council was formed, it had very little in common with the already well-known Esan town like Ekpoma, Irwa, Ewu, Uromi, Ugboha, and Ugbeaja. This was because when the Oba had political and even spiritual control over Esan land, the Enige in Esan land paid their homage by two different routes. Isha A, when we talk about Isha A, we're talking about Ekpoma, Irwa, Ewu, Uromi, Ugboha, and Ugbeaja. They paid their tribute to the Oba of Benin through Ojirwa, who directed the proceed to the Oba via Nwomode, that is their way. Nwomode, the what? Their way. The energies of Isham B. When we talk about Isham B, we're talking about Esan places like Ewohimi, Emu, Odua, Ewato, Ewosa, Ekpon, Ebele, Ogwa, Ugun, Udoba, Okalo, and Igwebe pay their tribute to the Oba Benin through the Onoje of Ewohimi. Through the Onoje of Ewohimi. Now, who directed the same through Igbanke Agbo route to what? To the Oba. That means when the Ishambi people, when they are going to pay the homage to the Oba Benin through the Onoje of Ewohimi, they need to pass through where Igbanke Agbo route. A route is like a road. That was what they said they used to follow. Look at it here, it's here. I'm not the one that said it. It is some people. He said, any day of Ishan B. When we say the Ishan B, we are talking about Ewohimi, Emu, Odua, Ewato. Then we have Ewosa. We have Epon, Ebele, Ogwa, Ogun, Udogba, Okalo, and Igwebe. They pay their tribute to the Obabini, to the Onoje of Ewohimi. And how does it go? When the Onoje of Uromi is going to pay his tribute to, is serving as the representative of the Asian B. How does it follow? It used to pass through Igbanke Agbo route to go and visit the Obabini to pay homage to the Ezomo. This was the reason for the fact that although no Enoje in Asian A disputed the Okai Jesan title with the Ojirwa, the Onoje of Ewohimi has always been at pain to limit the title. The Onoje of Uromi has always been, the Onoje of Ewohimi has always been at pain with him. You see, it's very clear. So when we talk about Ewohimi, it is Ewohimi village. Ewato is Ato's village. Ewosa is Osa's village. It's very simple. So somebody come be telling me I'm causing division. I just look at them and laugh. I'm just, those who do not know, if it is only 10 people I have here, they will listen. Those who do not know, they will know. Those who do not understand, they will understand. If they want to go and look for us. I don't have a problem with it. Don't change history. Don't debunk. Don't falsify our history. Don't distort our history because you want to get Esan State. Don't do that. So that is that there. It's clear. It's clear. Everything about that is already clear. It's clear. I've already been able to establish that. Look at what he said here now. He said, Ewohimi, Ewosa, Ewato. They are relations. Ewohimi, Ewosa, Ewato. They are the same. They are brothers. Those communities in Esan were founded by 3 brothers who were Orihimi, Osa, and Nato. That's how they got Ewohimi, Ewosa, Ewato. Look at it now. He said up to today, 1993, there is still heated argument regarding first, whether Osa and Ato are brothers of Ihimi. Secondly, which of the 2 Osa or Ato was senior? And third, which was the maternal brother of Ihimi? From the area, Ewohimi, Ewosa, and Ewato, and from the archives, I could find no agreement. In the 50s, the nearest thing to the truth, which the elders gave to me, was that Osa was senior to Ato and the maternal brother of Ihimi or Orihimi. But in 1986, Ewato people swore that they were senior and closer to Ewohimi than Osa. That's not the issue. The major thing that we established is that they are brothers. But the issue, the point of contention was that which was more senior to the other. But that does not dispute this belief that Ihimi, Ato, Osa, they were all Benis. They were Bini people that founded those areas. So when you hear of Ewosa, it is the village of Osa. When you hear of Ewato, it is the village of Ato. When you hear the place of Ewohimi, it is the village of Ihimi. It is very simple. It is very simple. Thank you, my sister, Omo Nomose TV. Very simple. Very simple. Very simple. That is Ewohimi, Opaika village. That is Ewohimi, Opaika village. We talked about today. We talked about Uromi. We talked about Ewohimi. You see how when we say the Benin and the Esan, they are the same. Oh, wait, no. I don't come my yakini. Who don't be sure, don't be sure, don't be anything, don't be put on contention. Look at it here now. Or where the history of Irua. The correct name, it is not Irua, it is Uruwa. Uruwa. U-R-O-U-W-A. It came to have this name on the arrival of the ruling house. Before this time, they were primitive settlement of Akko, and their quarters today marked by Idune Bozi. He said the plant ascetic immigrant from Benin settled in Egwari, close to the people they found. The dominant attitude of these strangers, coupled with the inherent desire to please the newcomers on the part of the aboriginal settlers made their first settlers move forward to Oji, leaving a handful of the more virulent and stubborn type, which is blah 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 and remnant and what have you. Yes, it has been established that before these people came during the Obaewari, people were already living in that land. Yes, but what they were saying that those people were Benis and they were Benin fugitives. That land called Esa today was a refuge place, was a hideout for some Benis. People who had problem with the ruling class, people who had problem in those days. When we say people are being banished, those people were banished. Those Benin people were banished from Benin. Where did they live? They lived in the jungle. That's why they call them fugitives, criminals. So as of today, somebody said he want to debunk that Esa are not Benin. He said Esa came from the ground, or Esa people they fell from the sky. It is your own brother. So you don't take with the Benin and Esa that be together. Let me quickly look at That my brother was talking about Igwebe. Let me look at the issue of Igwebe. He said Igwebe is the youngest of the legal district of Esan land. Is the youngest. Among all the Otesa, Igwebe is the youngest. That means maybe the last way Benin create. That's what he said. Thank you for the roses, Cowbell Espera. Thank you. He said Igwebe is the youngest of the legal district of Esan land, Otesa. And until recently, its leaders was not Onoje. That is, the Onoje of Oromi today was not known as Onoje the Onoje of Igwebe today was not known as Onoje of Igwebe. Thank you for the flowers. God bless you, Prince Unoma. Thank you, God bless you. He said he was always just known as the leader was not Onoje, but it was Hono, and it was already known as Okaigun. The Onoje of Igwebe today was not previously known as Prince Unoma. Thank you very much. God bless you. I'm on Mose TV. God bless you for the gift. The name was known as Okaigun. It was known as Okaigun. Igwebe. It was later they now upgraded to Onoje. You can see that he said Igwebe is so young. Igwebe is so young that it still retains the mother tongue Benin. So the mother tongue of the Esan people is Benin. The original tongue is Benin. The mother tongue is Benin. He said because it is just very young here, they still retain the mother tongue. That's why what he's saying is that Igwebe language, the tongue, is you just saying that Benin be this one. But in the case of other Esan people, due to tunes and lexical, that one makes that one look a little bit different, but it's still the same. Look at it now. He said the Ida War 1515 to 1516. He said about a decade after Esige became Oba of Benin, war broke out between him and the Ata of Ida. What broke out between the Oba of Benin, Oba Esige, and the Ata of Ida? You see it? He said, at first, the audacious Ata marched on Benin, where he was stripped and defeated. During his flight home, Oba Esige, like the son of Ozolua, he led his army personally and chased the fleeing Ida warrior, who he wanted to liquidate. You see it? He said Oba Esige, just like the son of Oba Ozolua, they are warrior people. If you are not a warrior in the olden days, you become refugees to other people. In the olden days, people were fighting for survival of the fittest. Brothers will fight among themselves for survival of the fittest in the olden days. And the reason why they were doing that, they were doing it because of selfishness and greediness. Can say. They fought themselves. He said, reaching the Niger, the warrior crossed in their canoes. But the Beninese, who had no canoes, film up and down the wrong side of the Lodi Niger. Although no physical contact was possible, the nearness of the Beninese caused the inhabitants of Ida so much insomnia that waves of them fled into the neighboring countryside. You see the Benin Ida war. That is Benin for you. We are known as warriors. So that when you see the Beninese are always at war, at war, they were doing it for self-defense. They were doing it for self-defense. You see, at last, when he went further to say that at last peace was made and the Beninese made the long trek back in. That is Benin for you. They march, they go to your house, go to fight you the olden days. That is the Benin for you. When you get there, they will go and meet you in your home. Let me say the way when you come, they will go meet you. Somebody come and be telling me they are warriors. The Benin, who were greater warriors. The Benin were greater warriors than the Esan people. It is true that the Esan warriors joined the Benin. Without the Esan warriors, the Benin as an empire, the history of the Benin as an empire is incomplete when you don't measure the Esan people. Yes, it is true. We agree with it. We agree with it. Then at last, peace was made and the Beninese made the long trek back in 1516. That is you. You see how they marched there to Ida. They marched back. They trek. No, when you trek from Upper Palace to Solution, people cannot get trek from Upper Palace to Five Junction. Those the people trek long distance. Then look at what he said. He said, we're talking about how Igweben came into being. It was a result of the Ida War. That's what we're discussing now. One of the trusted and daring warriors of Esige was a man called Eben. Eben was one of the what? Was a warrior to Oba Esige. And he was trusted, meaning he was reliable. It was reliable, was trusted, and he was daring. When you see Eben, he was a warrior of Oba Esige. It is trustable. It was reliable. So Eben was Oba Esige's warrior. He said one of the. He said at last peace was made and the Beninese made the long trip back in 1516. One of the trusted and daring warriors of Oba Esige, that Oba Esige had, was a man called Eben, Eben. In their long drive to the Niger across the jungles, warriors, and they were returning, they were marching back. Thank you. So one of the trusted and daring warriors Esige had was a man called Eben. In their long drive to the Niger across the jungles, when they were not finding their way back home, in jungles, there were tropical forest area. The Beninese made several huts, HALTX, and they became everywhere. That's what they call. The Beninese made several huts. You shall see not be one day. You get what they'll still waka reach. They'll still create Okogbo little place. They'll still relax. Meanwhile, they are coming back home. Then the Beninese made several huts. At one spot, I'm talking about the history of Igwebe. At one spot, they stopped for a recuperation. Recuperation. That means when you are exhausted, you need to eat, you need to relax, you need to have sleep, so that you can be able to gain yourself again. That's why they use the word recuperation. And later went after the enemies. He now said on their way back, nearly a year after. You see it? On their way back, nearly a year after. Because those days it was trekking. It can take time from there to move on. But trekking was not an issue to them. That's what they call, they have staminas. That's what they still do today. If you want to go for military training or what have you, they trek distance, miles. That's what they call physical fitness, stamina. The Benin warriors, they did it too. He said on their way back, nearly after a year, the body of warriors led by Eben halted again when they were not returning home. As they can't be aware, they halted again. In a way, they have a break, have a relax, have a cookie. They halted again at this particular spot. But when they were not coming back, they can't reach that spot because it's okay, they're still rest for a year. If you look at it, that's what they did. He now said they uttered the gate at this particular spot and was astonished, and they were surprised and astonished to see ordinary bit of yam. They had thrown away some months back, had grown into thickly leaf yam. You see it? Into what? Into a thickly leafed yam. Creepers. And on digging them up, yam where they say they throw away, left over where they throw away for ground. Because you say the yam can't grow. You can't even get leaf. You can't even the creep. He said on digging them up. That means on digging them up, tubers of oversized yams were obtained. You see it? When they were going to for the Ida war, they were halting in places. After the war, when they were returning back, they started where places that they settled before where they were going, they were still relaxing. Until they don't go to a spot now known today as Igwebe. They discovered that the leftover of the food that the leftover, the yam, they germinated. No, all this thing for this day that day. See, yam don't they grow. Then when they digged it, they saw tubers of oversized yam. Were obtained. So you can see that in settlement, there are reasons why people settle in a place. People can settle in a place because of one, that land is fertile. In the case of Igwebe, the people you find today in Igwebe, the earlier settlers there, it was as a lot of the land was fertile for farming. That was why they settled in that place. So settlement can be obtained by the fertility of the soil in that place. Sometimes it can be for security. Sometimes it can, like we have in Uromi and other places, it was for safety. That is security. That is how those settlements came into being. We are talking about history, how settlement can come into being. In the case of Igwebe, the land, sometimes it can be water. A settlement can be found in a place because of the availability of water. In the case of Igwebe, the land was the soil was fertile for farming. That is what it's telling you. That's how the history of the settlement of Igwebe emerged. Then the tubers of oversized yams were obtained. The amazed soldiers, that is, the soldiers who were surprised, went into the neighboring bush to dig up the yam that abandoned the original stopping place of the previous year. So they were now going into the jungles, those places that they stopped before while they were going. They went back to all those places again and discovered that those places, those yam they left over, they have all germinated, they've all reproduced. That is what the author is saying. The bush. He said the amazed soldiers went into the neighboring means around neighboring bush, around the bush to dig up the yams that abandoned the original stopping place of the previous year. So that stopping place is what they call the hut. They started they were now harvesting it. They are bound, that's around. Down about that place. Then the previous year, he said the thought came forcefully to their leader. So when they saw all these things, the leader Eben, something that came up to his mind. He said the thought came forcefully to the leader. The yams that were not planted, that were not planted or that were not catered for. That's what, or tender yielding. Tender yielding so much will produce wonderful tubers. You see it now? The yam will be saying when you plant yam, you go to water around, you go to clear, you go to weed around her, all those things. All this one they don't do one. If a land that you didn't the yams that you found that you throw off in a place, there was no water, there was no weeding, and they can still grow and produce like this. What will now happen to the ones that you will now water, you will now weed, you will now look after? How you go come be? That was Ebe. That was not doing what they call critical thinking. He was not doing critical thinking. That was what he was not doing. Then the thought came forcefully. That is at a go, at once, to their leader, Ebe. The yams which were not planted or tender yielding, so much could produce wonderful tubers. Should they be planted and looked after as in normal farm, unable to resist the amazing fertility of the soil? That was Ebe. That was not doing critical analysis, critical thinking of that land. That was called unable to resist the amazing fertility of the soil. He sent a message. When Ebe discovered that land was good for farming, he now sent message to the Oba. That he was remaining at this spot. That was what he did. Because the land was good. The soil was good for farming. In the early days, our forefathers were farmers. They were hunters. They were mercy men. They were hunters. They were farmers. Our forefathers, whether the Igbos, the Yoruba, what have you, in the early days, they were farmers. They were hunters. So you can see that most of these settlements that we have today, it was as a result of the fertility of the soil. The people, the Beninese who seek refuge in Esan land today, they were able to survive because they went into farming. That's how they were able to survive. Before people now joined them during Obaewari. People joined them. Then, he said, unable to resist the amazing fertility of the soil, Ebe sent a message to the Oba that he was remaining at this spot rather than return home. And we still said that what they call loyalty. That is called the Igbo people. They are people of loyalty from history through the founder of Igwebe. They are people of loyalty. You saw when the nojo of Igwebe came out the other time. You saw when he came out. He said, and he said, unable to resist the amazing fertility of the soil. It's like a man who saw a beautiful woman. He will try to woo her. That was what Ebe did to the soil. That land called Igwebe was unable to resist the amazing fertility of the soil. He sent a message to the Oba that he was remaining at this spot rather than return home. And to convince the Oba, these are men of loyalty. When a man is loyal, beautiful Igwebe people, they are people of loyalty. God bless you people. Then he said to convince the Oba, make the Oba know say what he need to talk now true. Look at what he did. To convince the Oba of the fertility of the choosing spot, Eben sent Esige the harvest of an untended yam. Of what? Of an unattended what? Inyania harvest from a land that was not well that was not well taken care of. For the Oba, for Oba Esige to know that he is not lying, he is being truthful. He said the message to them. He said to convince the Oba of the fertility of the choosing spot, and sent Esige, Oba Esige, the harvest of an unattended farm. Look at what it has produced. Then Look at it now. This settlement, founded by Benin warriors under the leadership of the great Eben, became known after his name, Igwebe. Like Idumebe, Igwebe. That means a settlement of Eben. That's how the word Igwebe came into existence. You see it? So the Igwebe, Ghana, the founder of that place known as Igwebe today, was a Benin warrior known as Eben when he was returning from the Benin Ita War in 1516. It's very simple. Igwebe people, they know their history. That's why they cannot be at loggerhead with the Beninese. Unlike the Uromi, rebellious people. Not like the Apaika Ewohimi, the rebellious people. History is very clear. The history of the Esan people is well documented. So documented. So that's how it say when you say Igwebe, it means a settlement of Eben. Igwebe means a settlement of Eben. Inyamu. No, thing saying so carry Eben. No, Eben was a name. Igwebe. It's like Ewe.
Let us say about that. Now, no be na Eben carry go or timbers of yam na carry go.
Na tubers of yam.
What do you listen? Okay, this guy be.
No, there are people that.
No. Listen. Listen. It's very clear. Look at what he said here. He said when he saw that the land was fertile. These are elders that spoke. These are elders that spoke. Unaware. Let me take it. He said unable to resist. Yeah. Whatever beggar. Maybe a subsequent one, maybe to display his loyalty. But initially, to convince the Oba, to convince Oba Esige, he has to first of all send some 2 bags of yam to him. You understand? So I guess that when Oba Esige saw those things, unaware, these people, I sent them to go and fight. So that yam they brought, look at what he said now. It's history. Don't make me the talker. Now, these are people not talking. Where he sent a message to the Oba that to convince the Oba of the fertility of the choosing spot, Eben sent Esige the harvest of what? Unattended farm. Thank you, Prince Onoma. Whatever I met him with where Eben. It's from the elders, the Onoje. All of them, that's what before they wrote all these things. Now he said it is Eben. Eben is a name of a Benin warrior who was loyal to Oba Esige. I read it in the beginning of here. Look at it here. I said one of the trusted and daring warrior Esige had was a man called Eben. So when I say Igwebe, it means a settlement of Eben. Every settlement you see today, it is founded by people, and they will name that settlement after that person. Ewato, Ato, Ewosa, Osa, Ewo Ihimi. So Igwebe is not a different. Igwebe means a village of Eben, because he was the one that brought that idea where Aipa, Yemagi Yowa, even Yawa. And to convince the Oba, he has to send, okay, person will say you send go war, make go fight. You can't discover, say he can't bring 2 bags of yam for you. You come out and say, what you can happen? Go there, Otona Waman and Amubo. So if you get otherwise, show me the source. Any other, bring the source. These are documented oral history. This one I'm reading for you now. I got it from TV source before I was able to convince that it is one of them. He said this settlement founded by Benin warrior under the leadership of the great Eben became known after his name, Igwebe. Igwe Oreben. So Eben was a Benin warrior who was loyal to Baesige. His name was named after Igwebe. Because Nectar said he was one that brought the idea that he was not going, but he was going to settle there. It is clear now. Let us read further. He said, this settlement, founded by Benin warriors under the leadership of the great Eben, became known after his name, Igwebe. It is not true to say that the name, it is not true to say that the name came from 2 words, Ogun and Eben, meaning blacksmith, who manufactures the Oba's Eben or state sword. though Eben himself was a native of Idumigun Ugboakota of Benin City. You see it? That man that they named Igwebe after, he said he was a native, Omoto. Native means Omoto, of Idumigun Ugboakota of Benin City. You know there was a time when the
His family house is still here.
When
His family house is still at Igun.
thank you. You know the Wude civilian brought a video when he showed the shrine of Ugboa in Benin. Wude civilian, I saw that his video. It's correct. Wude civilian was correct. Ugboa in Benin City. He said he himself, he was himself no blacksmith. He was not a blacksmith, but he was a famous warrior. Eben was not a blacksmith. He was a famous warrior. He now said it is equally untrue to say that Eben and other the Oba Benin used in those days were manufactured at Igwebe. You see it now? He said it's not true. You that asked me that question just now. He said it is equally untrue. It is not true to say that the Eben and other the Oba of Benin used in those days were manufactured at Igwebe. It's a lie. It is not true. On the contrary, each Esan Onoje, after installation by the Oba of Benin, after his former installation at home in Esan, had as is evidence of recognition by the Oba Eben. You see, at the installation of any Onoje by the Oba will not give them Eben. That's what we will say. Anywhere you see a traditional ruler holding the Eben, you know that place, that person is from Benin. Yes, it is true. That was what the Oba of Benin give to them after the installation of Onoje or Onoge. You will give them Eben as a symbol of what? Of their loyalty. That's why you see them when they are before the Oba, they will be dringling that thing, twirling it as a demonstration of their loyalty to the Oba of Benin. So it's not true. It was in Yamuge. So that the Oba will be convinced that yes, he's not being rebellious. So Eben was not a blacksmith. He was from Idumigun Ugboakota of Benin City. So tomorrow somebody from Igwebe will come and say we are not Benin. Like the way people want to hear me. Water. Then let us go further. He said, in those days, we manufacture at Igwebe. No, it is equally untrue to say that the Eben and other of the Oba of Benin used in those days were manufactured at Igwebe. He says it's not true. On the contrary, what happened was that each Esan Onoje, after the installation by the Oba in Benin, you see it? It is the Oba of Benin that installed any Onoje in Esan land. When people they talk say, wait till Oba talk, now only for Benin people, not be for Esan. Don't get anyhow. It is the Oba of Benin or the Oba in Benin that will install the Onoje in Esan land. That is the tradition. Then the Benin, after his former installation at home in Esan, had as his evidence of recognition by the Oba Eben, which had to be given to him at Benin City. Brass casting was introduced to Benin around about 13th century, so that by about the time Igwebe was founded, the Beninese had already become proficient in brass work, of which Ebelin is what? Ebelin is one. It will be ridiculous then to suggest that Obas Eben and other had to be ordered from Esan. Is a lie. Obas Eben and other do not come from Esan land. They don't come from there. You see it here now. These are oral documentaries. Our forefathers many years ago.
An example of this is when what happened between I think it was Oshomole and the Enoji of Uromi.
Okay.
That's why the Oba give order to leave him there, to replace him there, and he obeyed. Because he's the one that installed them there.
Yes.
So why are they trying to change all this? Because you know why they are if we are not saying Edo, it means the whole Edo, not only beneath.
Yes.
It means the whole Edo. Why are they claiming inferior? I saw the door, the wizard I saw Bini or Edo, the entire Edos.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Let me think of the job in there.
I greet everybody.
Welcome.
Afternoon, boss. Welcome.
Asheka.
Mama, what mommy? Laloke. Go here. Pasheka, wemenuata. Pasheka. Okay. Prince, wemenuata. Panetete, wemenuata. Tell me, you get it, you want to.
Maybe maybe busy, boss. I'm with you, so you have the answer. I will signify, man.
Okay. No, Allah.
So when we say they are Duke, no just in another Duke. We know what we're talking about. What we're trying to say is that we're not saying they are servant of the Oba. No, we're trying to say that they are not the same. The Onoje of Esan and the Oba, they are not the same, but they are not servant. We are not saying that no, they cannot be servant. Even we, the subject, we're not able to talk less of the Onojes. They are not. We are. Edo or Dion. Look at what my mommy said. Edo or Dion means all of us. Esan, Kira, Besako, Opa, Abe, Opa Mayaki. That is it. That is. You see it. You see the way Eben. You see that's why you see Omona BSC who buy on. You see what? You see why the Onoje of Igwe came at the other time. You saw me. They are the Onoje. They are. I beg you. You see how Eben displays loyalty. Now where I come about to get when you go on a woman. No, yeah, where Taita. I mean, some of the tubers that were harvested, they took some to him in Benin. Because when Obaesige, common sense will let you know that when Obaesige saw those tubers of now, he too was convinced. Because so he was convinced that that place that he's talking about is actually a land that is fertile. The soil was fertile. That's why people started living there. People started living there. Look at what to even go for that. But we're talking about three communities, including Igweme, which Igweme to round up. Then he said it here. It's not Edwin. It's not true. He said it is equally untrue to say that Eben and Ada, the Oba of Benin used in those days, were manufactured at Igweme. It's a false. That's not true. On the contrary, each Esan, okay, I've done that one. Then around the 50, then he now said that which had to be given to the Benin city. He said brass casting was introduced to Benin around about the 13th century, so that by about the same time Igwebe was founded, the Benin has already become proficient in brass work. Proficient means skillful. Proficient in brass work, of which Ebeli is what? It's one. It will be ridiculous to suggest that the Obas Eben and Ada had to be ordered from Esan. No, it's not true. The Ada and Eben of the Benin were not ordered from Esan. Even if the only maker were found in Esan land, what normally could have happened was that the Oba could have sent for and acquire all those in the trade, even if it means also deportation of the village of Igwebe. It's very clear. These are oral interviews. 1994. As he did this book, that's what they got that one. That's what they got that one. Different source, the same information. I don't know where some rebellious Oromi people and Oromi people got their narration of history. I don't know where they got the narration of history from. Then he said, But okay, look at it. Look at it.
Their history was written by Murphy Faith on the internet.
Igwe, even one day I was listening to Monkey Face. He said it was because of human sacrifice. That was why the British came to invade Benin. That is a lie. I read 2 books that talked about why the British, in quote, British. The only reason why I say in quote is that war was not a war fought by the British alone. It was a war fought. The Benin fought that war with the Europeans. With the Europeans, because they have already marked the Benin Empire for the British in the Berlin Conference of 1885-1886. They only just put, the Europeans only just put the British in front. But that war, that 1897 was between the Benin and the Europeans, because they don't already mark say that empire, British and now take them. That's what they were looking for, all means. It was not the reason. The reason why the British came in 1897 to invade, conquer, and annex Benin was for colonialism. And what was the reason for colonialism? 2 was for what? Dominance and dependence. We will dominate them. They will not depend on us. That was the reason why the British came in 1897. But in order for them to justify what their evil did, they said they found human sacrifice. When the British came to invade Benin in 1897, are you telling me that people were not bad? The Benis were not bad. The Benis in quote were not bad. Where are those people? Where did the British put them? Is it only Ologboshere and what have you that fought that war? No. The Benis joined them. Ologboshere, as a head of a military warrior, was having has his own entourage controlled. But they did not tell us about that one. The people they died during the 1897. But they said they came because that land were doing human sacrifice. So let me continue. Igweben correctly came from 2 words. That word Igweben came from 2 words. Igwe, which is a Benin word for camp. Igwe, or village. And Eben, which was the name of the builder of the camp. So the word Igweben is of 2 words. Igwe, which is a Benin word for camp or village. And Eben, which was the name of the builder of the camp. So that Igweben was named after Eben, a great Benin warrior, reliable one of Obaesigi. It's very clear. During the return of Eben and his party, it is said that the great Enowe accompanied him from Uboa of Esan. When Eben refused to continue his journey to Benin, Enowe had to remain with him, and he served Eben so well that on his death he had no heir. Eben decreed that all members of the new settlement will become faithful. Become faithful in Enowe's heir. So it's very clear. It's very clear about Eben.
Moderator, I've been with me now. Don't matter, no, go with you.
Let me throw some light to what our brother has been lecturing us about. This is a pure, true history of the people. You see these people, when they want to distort history, they take it far to era they don't even know about. There's one guy on this internet that keeps saying, where I do. And I asked him one day, I said, what is this your Idu history you are talking about? Is it the same Edo that is from Benin, or you have another Edo that is from Esan? He said, no, everywhere is just Edo, everything Edo. I said, oh, that. You need to understand what you are saying. You get all these things. If you see, understand this history very well. Some era of in Benin history, we don't even have migrations to places. I can tell you categorically that the era of Edo and the era of Ogiso, there was no such migrations. These migrations, they mostly started during the Oba era. And moreover, Benin has not expanded at that time. It has not. If you really look at Benin history, we expanded during the Benin Oba era. You see almost all the kings are connected to the Oba. There's never a time in our history Gisona sent people to go and rule another village. It never happened in our history. Those things, the system was organized by the Oba. The Oba that did this thing was Oba Ewari first. He organized the monarchy system, and turned the Benin kingdom to an empire. He did that. So if you look, there's a family house of this Eben we are talking about is at Igunde. Somewhere around Igu is where they came from. That is where the family house is. Some of the king of Igu Eben do come to that place to pay homage to where they came from. And most Esan places are like that because they are actually pure Benin people. Except maybe if they said there were people there, I don't believe such. If there were people there and you are coming to meet those people there, you are going to be under the rulership of those people you met. It's not possible for you to meet people in a place and you start ruling them. That will call for a conquest. If you meet the people in a place and you want to rule the people, you conquer the people. Because there will be a resistance. What I understand is that most of these Esan kingdoms, the people that established those kingdoms are Beninese. After those kingdoms were established, maybe other people from other places now joined them. But telling me that people were there before Benin got there means that those Beninese that went there conquered those people there. Because the person that stays in the place owns the place.
Yes. Tony Omo, now that way they start to talk, and that thing a lie. Now they start to talk, say
that thing a big lie.
Okay,
sometimes they will not refer to Ogiso. It's not possible.
No, man,
Ogiso is pure Benin. They will not tell you that there is a joy in Ogiso.
Tony, let me repeat this. Tony, please power tap. Let me repeat this thing you are saying now, so that many better say you.
Address your by the United. We say that Ogiamie is the head of the palace of Benin. That's why the name is Ogiamie. You are so daft. As Benin gets that name Ogiamie, we also have Ogesoba. You don't know. Go and cross check. You say that is why his name is Ogiamie. And we also have a name, the chief, that is Ogesoba. So also go and check. Why that name also exists? Ogesoba.
Greetings to everyone.
Can I say something about this? I'm coming, brother. Let me add to what our sister just said.
Tony,
Okay.
don't let them distract us. As I'm narrating this now, we take the pepper there. That's why you look for something to distract us. Don't let them. When we get to that issue of Ogiame, don't worry. I have a documentary on it. They're talking about Ekokmaga. There was never a war. They did not fight. When you say Ekokmaga, a treaty or this, let me say they don't fight. Like Ozolwa and leave those people. We should not allow them to distract us. We are telling them who they are, that they are part and parcel of us. It depends them. Well, I say, remember, you see the way I wrote, I talked about Uromi, Ewoimi, and Igwebe. It is very clear. I didn't more. They met the people. They did oral interview with the people. I have a battle. They are well documented. When we finish from Benin owner, if we finish from Benin owner, we'll just remind some people, so they not say, you sack of people, they see part of us. Those people are loyal, we know. They will now move to the Yoruba and begin to debunk them. I have everything here. That's why you see, when you enter Yoruba platform, they will cost you. You know why? They don't say they tell them the truth. They don't say they tell them the truth. Let me read something to add to what Tony said about the Esan people. Watch. When she say, before I come to read all these books, I don't do my research. Watch now. Tony Omo, watch now, listen. Aware, it will be a mistake. It will be a mistake to think that there was no human settlement in that land today called Urumi before 1460. You see it? But with this one, before Urumi, he said just as Oramiya arrived to rule the people already in existence in Benin, so the Beninese fleeing from autocracy and the selfish of Ewari arrived various parts of Isha to dominate and in many cases to eliminate the primitive aboriginal settlers who through civil wars, the harsh rule of the pre-Oramiya Benin king known as Ogiso, sought refuge in the unknown jungles of Isha between 900 and 1400 AD. These earlier settlers, that are the aborigines, who left Benin in inconsequential numbers, were either criminals or fugitives, and so had to lead the secretive, wary, and timid life of men, bent on not being found out. Such then was the life possible before 1460. Yeah, I'm not clear. What do I talk again? If they say people were living there, yes. Before the Exodus movement, yes. Who were those people? It's very simple. Ask yourself, those days when we're living, when somebody commit a crime and the person knows that it maybe it will evolve to buy, the person will seek refuge in elsewhere. So that's why you see that settlements are also created based on security purpose, based on safety.
Example, we see other people went to go and seek asylum in other places.
Any settlement you see, it is either because of fertility of the soil, maybe there is water, maybe for safety, where can I Emma. So that is the case of the earlier settlement. That Esala today was for safety purpose. Was a safety purpose.
I agree with full house.
It was for safety purpose. That's how they found the history of this land is that Esan land is a land that was for safety.
Wow, in Agama was me. ELOGHOSA not
remember for that.
Wow, most about where a movement Amadio, a Tima de Baman. Yeah. You cannot please these people. Mene level say akwa ba awa zena me ma huwewo awa zeya la me ma huwewo o ya ka na you do be no be
no ni ha I still time o mata wa mu ya do ba pala ti a di se ba ya di kwe
maka ma we na te wa gbegbe e mama we know all these things before ima wa gbegbe before we na wa the team ya gini o ti agbo ya hin o ene wata bet ami ya ni na be ma ho ya ga hin be ma ho ya be so we so tell
thank you
we say we wa ala di amare dia e di amala ye
yes na
e di amanje more enough mommy let love me
Domosa.
Enjoy the diamond.
Akabo. Akabo, nothing like telling them the truth, the facts from documentary.
Yes.
So they can't change that. Let them be true story, true music, true what they are seeing. But this is what documented.
Yes.
Exactly.
Let's have a point. I have been study. Thank you, access.
The truth is this. Let us begin to open up now.
Yes, now.
This is only accepted. Now let us begin to expose it the way it is.
Yes. Melania, let me
Let them begin to cry again. But begin just stand on your list, stand on your walk.
Thank you for
Let's go to the palace. You see, present it to them. That's why they are afraid we want to record in here. Because whosoever they said, if you want to screen record me and paste it. But they will be afraid of record because they know that they didn't stand for the truth.
Yeah.
That's why they are afraid of recording. And no matter how you go hide, I get all your records. You will clear, tell you no evidence.
Guy, no what talks is everything when you do read sis na lie. You don't know anything concerning Esan. Bye.
Thank you.
God will punish you. Now God
God will punish you to your head. Now you know God
useless pikin.
Now it's a rat
Pikin. Very useless.
you not charge.
Now, Mama, what are you?
Papa.
Una go clear, tell you no evidence.
Mama,
It
you know
is
something?
No be beneath that time.
Mama, all these things they read. Not to say they pepper them. I tell you. Mama, he don't listen. I don't get the truth now. For her to say thank you, they say so let me read something again. Where Eben himself and most of the warriors who agreed to stay behind with him in the fertile camp were all native of Uboha. I mean,
I greet you too.
Yeah, bro, so me and the hear wetin you dey talk inside the Esan boy, but wetin you dey talk e dey enter my ear because
where are you from in Esan? Where are you from in Esan?
Yeah, I'm from Igwebe.
Okay.
So the word when you dey talk the truth dey inside, but e just get one question when I wan ask. I better not take as maybe as insult so. As we Esan now we come from Benin. Where Benin come from?
That not be the issue. We talk about the issue of Esan first. When we read
yes, I agree with you now. I agree with you. So they under Benin. Where Benin come from?
Don't worry. When we read here, I will answer that your question. I will answer.
ELOGHOSA. When you go the documentary, may yourself go find out.
Go find the paper. May you
exactly.
No, go find the history. May you see go find now.
Make I correct am. Wait, make I
follow everywhere. Una no know history. Una no
Make I correct am. Make I correct am. Money no be problem.
Bros, I dey hear you.
Oko wa fear for it.
No, here we go.
We are mo na pe ma kun yan. Ko na ma say ma na
use more that. We are gonna take be. Lare, God's power na God dey punish you. You wey be small rat wey no know be your papa.
God's power. You call it disturb me. You shout. You
wey be small rat wey no know papa go buy you papa.
I dey do my history now. You call it disturb me for here. No. I block it.
Obi go be that.
Ọmọ tán, àfi wa yóò mọ̀ wá mọ̀ bó wa yóò fi yẹn.
If you not be mumu, you will say I can tell you something. Which can I tell you is big. Now that issue of Benin we know. We know our history. Now
why Lagos in your hand now? Because I need that book. Yeah, I'm going to watch any request. Why Lagos in your yeah, meet me.
Just on your minute.
You know, if you never be here with you.
At all.
I go buy you. You know about guessing. I go buy you.
Oh, boss on one
son of Akuna.
I'm a rebellious people. You saw your brother from Igwebe. You saw how loyal he was to buy SPG.
No manner. But God, when they come and they claim Igwebe, they don't be Igwebe. Those are the same betrayers.
Ancestors.
No, you almost for that Igwebe name now. I'm not going to tell you, say, they want to come and they twist them, say they be Igwebe. They not be Igwebe, not let they claim that name.
It's very clear now. Thank you, ancestor. Thank you for the rules. Thank you for the rules. Then let me read further. Let us watch now. They say those people from Igwebe, you can attest to what I want to say now. In Igwebe, our Eben himself and most of the warriors who agreed to stay behind with him in the fighter camp were all natives. You see how? They were all natives of what? Idumi gun Igboha. I am an infant Igwebe na Eben. Total. Because he didn't stay alone. The other warriors also agree with what he said. He said all those people, they are all from Idumigun in Ugboa. That's where those people came from. The people that founded Igwebe today, Eben, and his warriors who stayed with him. He said all of them, they came from what? They come from Idumigun Ugboa. Enyakiri. Oh, clear. Very clear. Where? The final home, okay, that one, okay, but the final home of the great, this Ugboa. Then it's association between the Igwebe and Ugboa. Where the final home of the great, in a way, Ije Bome and his younger brother, Ono of Ugboa. Here, then, is the association between Igwebe and Ugboa. Yes, as at the ancestral home of the founder, Idumu Igun Ugboa, in Benin City. Yes, Okata Denia, Uda Civilia, Ota Regania.
Kakabo.
Okay, I'm not sure it's trying me. Kakabo.
I'll show it, yes.
He showed it now. He showed it. He showed it. He said to us, the defiant hero in a way was honored in 3 places at Benin, Ugboa, and Idumugu Igwebe. So, true, Eben had tried to make the great warrior remain at his camp or Idumugu, but in a way had already made Benin City his home and could not stay. Whatever service in a way must have rendered to Eben must have been during the year-long Ida War, for he died shortly after the victory celebration of 1516. The Benin Ida War, you know what we be a consequence. Manabi Soshi. Even they are lawyer now. They know the truth.
Of course. Of course.
That is history. History has good and bad. We don't have to look into. We have to look into the past so that we can
the two sides.
Prevent the further reoccurrence of those evil that took place in the past. It's very simple, very clear. So Idumugu Ugboa in Benin City. That was where the people who founded Igwebe they emerged from. That's why they call it Igwebe. Igwe-Eben. That is the village of Eben.
Of Eben.
Yes. Eben was the name of a Benin warrior. Of a
warrior.
He was very loyal to the Oba.
Yeah, we had a fear warrior. I'm on hungry.
Okay, let me go further now. Let us go further before I call it a day. Why the Samuel, please. The original Igwe of Eben by migration. Listen now. The original Igwe of Eben, that is Igwe of Eben. Now the same thing with Igwebe. So now okay, since you want somewhere, now call it the original Igwe of Eben, but Igwe in Esan when you change that tune, Igwebe, the village of Eben. So it said the original Igwe of Eben by immigration soon grow into a large village with spreading quarters. In every village we have quarters. It is true. In every village we have quarters. Now the original Igwe of Eben by immigration soon grow into a large village with spreading quarters, and today there are 6 big quarters in all. Number 1, we have Egwari. He said Egware, this was the original Igwe founded by Eben. Egware in Igwebe there. When you go to that district,
Only
Egware.
Egware, yes.
That is the original Igwe founded by Eben. And up to this day, is known by the name of the ancestral home of its founder.